Well, from homelessness to the proposed city budget to the perpetual expansion of the Alamo City, there is so much going on in and around San Antonio. And of course, that means a lot of planning.
So joining us in today's Leading SA segment is Councilman Manny Pelaez from District 8. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. I also wish I was a seagull.
Right? We can all dream.
Well, good morning, Councilman. So through the last few years, we've seen the homeless population become more and more apparent. Clearly a complicated situation, lots of different responses. So how have you responded in District 8?
Well, the first thing is by naming the problem and actually talking honestly with folks and not letting myths perpetuate. This is a problem being faced by every single city in the United States in a way that is more profound than we've ever seen before. The economic crisis, COVID, drawdown of funds for mental health. This crisis is just a confluence of very, very sad winds that are all blowing, and they're blowing through San Antonio. And so what we've done in a historic way is in 2020, we have funded more than ever homelessness, mental health programs, domestic violence programs, trauma-informed care programs. And we did it again in 2021, and we're going to do it again in 2022. I mean, we're talking almost $1 billion. Never before has San Antonio invested in social safety net programs like this to make sure that the most vulnerable people around us don't continue to fall between the cracks. Now, the other problem, though, Max, is that homelessness affects all of us, and in many times, homeless encampments near neighborhoods and near businesses, we have to clear those out, and those are unsafe for the folks who are living in them and the folks who are around them. And so we're also attacking that problem very compassionately. And you've seen on your news station on KSAT how it is that we go out to these homeless encampments and offer care and offer services and really help people get back up on their feet. But there's still so much to do. But doing nothing is not a solution, which is why we're all choosing to do something here.
Now, some of the solutions that you've chosen to take part of include counselors. We saw Trez on your social media, right. So talk about him, and then talk about the hotel that is being used for the city.
Yeah, and so Trez, for example, I always say that he's an angel walking among us. He has dedicated his life to interacting in a very human and compassionate way with our homeless population and sitting down with them and offering them services and really trying to figure out what does this individual need in order to be in a better place. Tress is one of many folks in San Antonio with whom we work. We work with Goodwill, Same Ministries, Haven for Hope, the Veterans Administration, and et cetera, et cetera. And we go out to these folks at their encampments. We don't wait for them to come to Haven for Hope or come to the service centers. We go to them and we find them and we sit down with them and we treat them like the human beings that they are. They're, after all, that's someone's brother, someone's sister, someone's mom and dad. And so we have to, remember that they're but for the grace of God go I, right? And we work with them daily, 7 days a week, and Tress is indefatigable. And I invite folks to check him out on my Facebook page, District 8 Manny. You'll find some pretty neat stories about what he does. You asked me another question, and I forgot what it was because it's 7:45 or it's 8 in the morning. So.
Well, we appreciate you being with us, dark and early this morning. The hotel that the city is using.
Yeah. So encampments per the state of Texas are now illegal. And whether you agree with that policy or not, we still have folks in 100+ degree weather outside. It is very unsafe to be on the streets of San Antonio in this kind of heat. We also know that, providing somebody a clean and safe place to sleep, there's nothing luxurious about the hotel. It's a little hotel with just beds in it, and it's air conditioned. You get beds, and that's about all you get there. But you also get access to social services, wraparound services, mental health services, ID recovery services. And the idea here was to provide a safe place where all of that can happen. And some folks disagreed and other folks agreed. But at the end of the day, doing nothing, it will result in nothing. And I think that you're going to see that we're going to end up housing some very vulnerable people and being able to put our arms around them and compassionately find a way for them to get back up on their feet.
And Councilman, before we go, real quickly, we want to talk about your actual district. It's getting bigger. The northwest side is bringing in a lot of businesses, expanding. So are there any future plans of growth in that area? And then how do you plan to maintain some of those beautiful natural areas going forward?
Yeah, so the one thing that God is not making more of is land, right? And so we got to protect those parcels of land which belong to the people, parks in particular, linear trails. And so we're making major investments in activating those. And our future bond package is going to include, I'm pretty sure, big investments in Eisenhower Park in the north side, and then connecting those parks to one another via bike and hike lanes, trails. But at the same time, we continue to see people moving up here on the north side because of how excellent the school districts are and because of how nice it is. And they're buying these big homes and it's just sprawling out in every direction. Well, that sprawl is happening over the aquifer. And so I think you're going to see District 8 in the future start focusing on density. And that is, apartments, towers, smaller homes, because I don't see the demand for people wanting to live here waning anytime soon. But we need to figure out a way to do it in a way that doesn't negatively impact our tree canopy, but also at the same time, takes into account that people are coming and they're showing up and they need to live somewhere.
Manny Pelias, thank you so much for joining us this
Thanks,
morning.
guys.
And for our viewers who want to watch this full interview, will be on ksat.com later on.